know if it's old. I'm never in an old spot, but the button. Got a little gold gilting to it. Let's see. First find of the day. Well, I got an interesting spot here. Looks like someone's been coming through with a truck, moving some sand around. He's finding a couple coins and then high signal, so it might be silver, but that definitely looks like a ring. The letter D. Some bling bling. And I think that's costume. See, the ring and the scoop. Well, we're back to Earring Beach, but I'm nearing the end of the trip, but still managed to pull out another earring. Let's see if we can find the other pair.
Grabbed a few pieces this week at the thrift store, especially this mason jar. It's a 2-quart jar, and on the opposite side has a really nice American eagle embossed in it, which places it right around the bicentennial age, and that's directly what it is. I believe it's a 1977 mason jar with really, really cool embossing on it. This piece I took a chance on. It has that greenish hue that uranium glass does. But when I got it home and put it under the black light, really didn't glow much. So it might be late uranium glass, and it just didn't have enough in it to create any kind of glowing effect. Can't really tell you why I was so intrigued in buying these horns. I'm not even sure what kind of animal it's off of, but I bought them anyway. I'm gonna chase my kids around with them. And this was the surprise of the day, an actual dumbbell. Now remember, I own a gym, so this piece is going to be finding itself somewhere decorating my gym, but it is a 100-year-old wooden 1-pound dumbbell. Look at that. Spalding original makers. Super fine. And the coolest part of the trip, with my change came a 1937 wee penny. Doesn't quite happen as often as it used to, so it's fun to see these show up every once in a while. I do like to use GPS coordinates and Google Maps from time to time. This is actually Google Earth, to scope out some areas that we consistently search. You can see why my area is such a great place to search. It's an easy access from the ocean, so there had to be just a tremendous amount of activity constantly around here. From the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, look at the path into where I actually searched coming from the ocean. So as you see, as I pan out further and further, you're going to eventually hit the whole state of New Jersey. And that little red marker again is where my brother and I do the majority of our hunting. I'm going to hit a spot today, which is my last day of hunting this week. The tide is not in my favor. It's already 2 hours past low. But it's a small section of the beach here in the Highlands. I think I just showed you a map of where a lot of my locations are. And this little area is a nice open area. It's a long beach, Probably gonna have a lot to detect even though the water's coming in. And I'm gonna do some testing to see if I can pull up anything possibly on the older side. The water's not too crazy, so I might even go out a little bit. Yeah, nice long section. The beach is the way I love it. Nobody here. And it looks like there's been a little bit of a cut. I might find some stuff in there. I'm gonna hit the water line first, maybe even some of the water. All right, first thing I got into is this little brass bullet shell, which is obviously not on the new side, so I like the age. Might be telling me something. Well, I decided to move up a little higher on the shelf of this beach. Just pulled up a memorial penny, but it is all copper, so it's probably 60s. And you can tell it's been out there for a while. Not quite as old as I want, but it gives me a little idea what could be hovering in this area. Strange little piece I found up on the hill here. I think it's just a bookmark, I think, or some kind of hair clip that I do not know. I'm gonna go with a bookmark. Well, still not finding anything fantastic, but I do like these old copper boat screws because it does bring the age in a realm where I'm looking more for. And I'm definitely hitting a different type of sand underneath, an older clayish, more clay sand. Yeah, part of a fishing lure, but I recognize these. These are on the older side. You can see where I'm running my line of targets. And ever since I started getting those boat pieces, everything's looking a little bit older. Well, with a lot of bigger pieces coming out, which I always like to see the bigger targets, I may have found something interesting. Grab it. My hands are now officially getting really cold. But I'm looking at it. Potentially as some kind of pin, maybe? I know my gloves are a wreck. Time for some new gloves. Yeah, it's something decorative. I'm not sure if it's a pin or some kind of buckle or latch. Huh. Can't help but take the toys off the beach. This little guy. Here's something that doesn't happen every day. I got a signal right here, right there. And when I went to dig it, I recognized the shape that was sitting right on top. Can you see it? Now I'm in the bay. Sharks don't come into the bay. So this is not a recent shark tooth find. But right above my signal is a shark tooth. Now if I had known that these were here, I would have put my shark tooth eyes on. There could be shark teeth in this whole collection of shells. That's definitely an old one. Now I'm gonna see what was underneath it. It's crazy. And a nice little wash coming up right here. A little erosion that I'm gonna check out too. But a shark tooth. Huh. We have a little bit of a heart charm, I think. Could be copper, because I can see the green coming through, but it's also decaying a little bit. But this has some history to it. Still hitting this long slope, just in a different line this time. I picked up this awesome piece of driftwood off the beach today. I love using these things as little display pieces for some of my finds, or just once again decorating the house with them. Look at how this stone has been embedded in the wood. I'm not quite sure how long ago that happened, but this is really, really a nice piece. You can tell it's been out there for a while. Well, well, well. Look who arrived. 60 seconds late, I'll have you know. He's moving methodically. He's already calculating numbers and distances and tides. That's an accountant for you. We'll see. Let the games begin. Now that's the look of a treasure hunter. Look at this guy. Packed to the hill.
What's up, what's up?
Good morning.
What a nice day.
Yeah, I hope the day isn't the blessing
What a nice day.
or the weather, because I'd rather a cruddy day with massive volume of treasures. Nice day, 0 treasures.
Nice.
I could do without. Whatever. Yeah, there's a lot going for us today, weather-wise. Look at all the boats that are out, too. Super calm. It's beautiful out. The tide is out. We just got to see if we can get out really, really deep. I'm talking out by that boat. Here he comes, lagging behind. I'm just checking out an area of wash here. Interesting sign. I wish the thing was in better pieces. Looks like maybe a powerboat sign. It's thick. And I'm just eyeing this wash here to see what's coming up. Okay, before I decided to go out in the water, I wanted to really hit this edge line. And within 10 seconds, I'm looking at something in here. Let's see, a piece of brass or copper. Within 10 seconds, I get a signal right here. It's nothing. Another little piece of metal in here. And what I saw in my scooper initially had my heart start to race, but I'm seeing now on the other side it might be more like a button, or maybe it's a drawer pull. Yeah, I'm thinking that's more what it is. Although that looked like a coin all the way. Interesting. Well, it's always just when you think you're not in a good spot and you're about ready to go, you pull up a relic that definitely demonstrates some age in this area. So here we go. Here's a nice flat button. There's some identification on the bottom here. There's the shank. It's probably a gold gilded. But I'll be able to get some age on this later. I don't see any designs on it yet. Here, where's the eagle? And that's another good sign. This thing's all banged up. I have a really nice high signal right along this really old piece of wood. I'm not even sure what that is. It definitely was sculpted. The signal's right here. Just because it was such a good signal, I'm very curious on what this could be. Well, now that I'm out in the water, I wasn't expecting this to come up as my first actual signal. This is one of those key doors that you open and close to get to the keyhole. It's got something written on there. And this is old. Has to be. Nice little piece. There's Uncle Paul. Well, I might be working on a theme here. What is this thing? I know what it is. It just looks an interesting color to me. Oh, look at you. All right. We just found the key that may go into that little key lock. Look at that. Excellent, excellent piece. Norwalk.